All right. It's your boy Killer Tricks back at it once again with that GSXR 1000R goodness, and you already know we about to hit them with those zoom, smell my fumes, brothers. Let's go. All right, so this a little review I'm gonna put up. I've had the bike for just about 4 months. Got almost 7,000 miles on her, so she's been ridden. I'm just not parked in this garage here. On my let's see, my second front tire, third rear tire. Got Power 5s on them now. I did have the Bridgestone RS11s that came with the bike. The tires were okay on the RS11s, just not a lot of mileage out of them, obviously. So with these Power 5s, they're dual compound. They'll last a little longer for what I do. Still sticky where I need it to be, and But overall, man, the bike's been great. Had 0 issues. Reliability's been great. Just regular maintenance, oil change, greasing the chain, whatever, and that's it. And just start it up and go. Did a little bit to the bike. No, I haven't got it flashed or anything like that. Haven't got an air filter yet, but it's got the slip-on exhaust that was free from Suzuki, the Yoshimura Alpha Carbon, which was nice. So I didn't have to buy an exhaust. And just like little, got all my axle, sliders, frame sliders, fender eliminator kit. Take out the turn signals up front. Nobody likes those pumpkin lights. Got the Litec rear hugger on there because Suzuki don't equip them with any. I don't get that, but so you have to put that on there. That's really about it. Everything other is just stock. Eventually I'll get it flashed. Full exhaust, air filter and whatnot. But I'm still really getting used to the power. I mean, power is great out of it already. Especially with what I do is I ride the twisties pretty hard, and really this is all the power that I need. Unless you're one of those guys that just like the straight lines, and yeah, sure, you want to get as much as you can. But if you're like me and just hit the twisties and stuff, this is plenty hard. It's got great torque. I want to say it's like 87 pound-feet of torque. It's 200 HP on stock. Of course, that's I'm probably not getting that much because it is a little bit restricted. But definitely flashed you will as far as crank. Yeah, so far like the bike's been great, man. I have like 0 complaints. This is my third motorcycle. So I started on a 99 Strad 750. Which is a good bike. And then the bike before this was a K7 750, which unfortunately got rear-ended on that bad boy. So I took a couple years off, which I didn't get hurt or anything, but I just took a couple years off, and then I got this. But I've always been a 750 lover, and it was kind of like, I don't think you really need 1,000, but I'm not gonna say I kind of still think that way a little bit. I mean, this has got really more power on the streets than what you need. 750, I feel like I was kind of getting more of the bike. I can use more of it anyway. Where this is like, with my skill level, and I can, I ride hard, but realistically, I'm using maybe 30% of this bike's potential, if that. Where the 750, I felt like I was using a lot more. So, I'm not gonna. They're both fun to ride. But no regrets, of course, getting this bike. But definitely, it feels every bit as light as a 750. It leans in corners. It's just as easy. But like I say, I just felt like I was going through the gears more than 750, stuff like that. Where I can just stay in really whatever gear I want. Depends on how hard I'm riding. But normally I'll stay in like second, and that second is all you really need. Maybe third, really, you can stay in. But depending on how hard you want to punch out of the corners. But where I live, I live, where I'm in the mountains, so there's a lot of twisties where I'm at. So I definitely ride it, and that's how I ride. I'm more of the, twisty person than, hitting, straight line stuff and just going fast like that. I like going fast through the, corners and turns and stuff, and getting the lean in. Gotta get that lean in. Like I say, the bike's been great. 0 complaints. No reliability issues. So if this is my first bike, of course, that has any electronics. Other bikes were analog. It's been good. I keep my settings on on A mode usually, unless I'm going really hard. I might go on B just because the on and off is a little better as far as the throttle response. And then I keep it on traction control too, which the bike's got. You can turn the traction control off and then go all the way up to 10 on the settings, and that acts as your anti-wheeling as well. So the two is kind of, I don't know, I feel good with it. The front end will pop up a little bit. Doesn't really interfere at all that I've really noticed. But it does good, man. Hadn't really, I would say it hadn't really saved me, but I felt it once I was going in a little hot, and I was trail braking, and I did feel a little bit. I think I had it on traction control 4 though, and it kind of helped me out a little bit. I was going a little hot, but yeah, I keep it on 2, and it does good, man. It does, I know it's predictable. The bike is super comfortable. I would say not quite as comfortable as my K7 750. Like you feel like you're a little bit more on top of the bike versus I think the older gens. My friends has got the last gen 1000, and you definitely sit in it more than this one. You still sit in it, but not quite as much like I was used to. Like when I first got the bike, I'm like, wait, I mean, it still feels like a Suzuki, but not quite as much. Like the 750, like you really were in it. It's a little bit more aggressive. Now, but it's still comfortable. Obviously I put a lot of miles on it, so I can ride for hours and hours, and as long as I get a little break here and there, I'm good. The bike, let's say, it's been good. Let's say she's about 4 months old, and do a little walk around here, just kind of look at it. And if you're curious, that's a Suzuki LTR 450, fully done. I mean, it's got full DAS exhaust, DAS air filter, cherry bomb, power commander, all that good stuff. I mean, it's all the bolt-ons you can put on the LTR 450 is done. But anyway, just in case you guys are curious, the bike, I think it looks great. Some people might not like the looks of it, but she rides great, man. She looks great. She's a little dirty right now because I haven't wiped her down the last couple rides. I mean, not too dirty, but a little dirty. But I think the paint scheme, everything, I don't know. I think they did a great job with the bike. I just wish they came with a damn rear hugger. So you got to buy that. Like I said, it's a Tech one. I think it cost me a couple $100. I put that on there because unfortunately, it's been, I live in an area where there's a couple little, I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, it's getting chipped up from all the gravel and stuff on my fender eliminator. So I wish I kind of clear coated that or something, to, put a little protective film over it. But I didn't know. I didn't have the rear hugger yet when I got it, and so it's getting a little bit better now since I got the rear hugger. But yeah, man, the gravel will hit that up. So if you do get a hot bodies fender eliminator for this bike, just know you might want to, if you're around any type of gravel, you better protect that thing. Other than that, you're gonna have to repaint it. So I'll probably do that, touch it up here in a little bit. But like I said, what's on the bike, I got the front and rear axle sliders. They're Evotech, frame slider Evotech. And that's, that's pretty much it. Just little stuff, little cosmetics. The exhaust is it's got a good sound to it. Not super loud, which is fine. After a while of riding, I'm kind of over the super loud pipes. Like this is loud enough. I'm noticed definitely. And I like to hear my music too, man, on the Bluetooth. So, I like to get a little bit of both. I want to hear my music and I want to hear my, the engine and the exhaust. Not just the exhaust as a ring in my ear. And, of course, you can wear earplugs and whatnot, but then you're kind of sacrificing a little bit on the music. So, let's say great bike. Zero complaints. I think, I've been on other 1000s, and this is not my favorite, man. It feels so light. It really feels like a 600 with that 1000 power. It really does. I say zero complaints, guys. It definitely is the bargain bike. I mean, you can't go wrong. I think the MSRP is like 17, and a half. I paid 15 and some change for out the door, less than 16. And I mean, you can't really, I mean, other brands, you can't really get that, that performance for that money. And, of course you put on the little parts, whatever, and get it to where, it's definitely comparable to the others, and you still spend less money on, parts and upgrades. It's just a great bike all around. It really is. Definitely the best bargain, that you can get for this 1K. But yeah, definitely like the bike. Zero complaints. Trying to think of anything else I want to say. This is unscripted, of course, brothers. So it is going off of, the feels right now. But she's beautiful. Definitely a big Suzuki person. I've only owned Suzukis. Do a little walk around again, you guys can see. But yeah, lights too, just to kind of, it's very bright. I mean, they're LEDs, so they're super bright. I don't really ride too much at night. I try not to, but when I am, very bright. Got zero complaints there. And like I say, in comparison to other 1000 stuff I've been on, I've been on like Flash ZX10s, whatnot, and this got just stock form. It's got every bit of power. Got great torque. With the VVT, it just, man, it comes alive. Like after, you definitely start feeling about 4000. Then once you get to like 6 and 7, it's like it really starts kicking in, and then kicks in super hard around 12. And just keeps going. If you guys have any questions on it, just let me know. Like I said, I've definitely spent a lot of time with the bike. Put a lot of miles on her. Still looks nice and new. She better. The 4 months old. But let's try to keep wiping her down and keeping her clean. But yeah, I get a ton of compliments every time I ride, man. Like everybody seems to like the bike. A little flashy as far as like the color, I kind of prefer like the darker colors, but like I say, I've been rearing and stuff before. I'm kind of, I want you guys to kind of see me out there now. Like I'm not trying to get hurt out there in the streets. But yeah, you definitely don't need, these newer bikes coming out with even more and more horsepower. Like you really don't need any more horsepower. I don't see it. Why? On the streets, I think, this is all I'll need. I'll probably be my last super sport. I plan on keeping it forever, but I think my next bike I want to get an adventure bike and probably get that Yamaha Tenere 700. Even though I've been to Suzuki, only on Suzukis, I do like that, the looks of that Yamaha Tenere, and just what I want to do, and have fun different ways other than this type of fun, because this type of fun that gets you in trouble a little bit. But yeah, it's probably my last. I'm getting a little older too, so probably my last super sport that I'm gonna buy, and just hold on to this for when I want to ride it, and then have something else. Put some more miles on and stuff, because like I said, I'm probably gonna have a ton of miles for in a while. But yeah, I think that's about it. It's a wrap up. Like I say, anybody have any questions, just let me know, and I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge. Like I say, I think this is, if you want the best bike for the money, this is hands down the best bike for the money. You got you have a lot of, quality of life things like fuel gauges, how many miles you got till it's empty. It's got bi-directional quick shifter. Anything that the only thing it really doesn't have is heated grips and cruise control. Other than that, it's got everything, all the cornering ABSs, things like that, stability control. It's got all that stuff as far as electronics go. But I'll tell you what, first bike having a fuel gauge, man, do I love that fuel gauge. And not even just a gauge, but how much, miles I got till empty. Like I know, it's like, okay, I got 15 miles to go. I better go ahead and pull over and get some gas. Like instead of just having the light, start flashing, and then staying on. Of course, when you have the bike for a while, you don't really need a gas gauge. You kind of know where you're at. But I'll tell you, man, I love just looking down and knowing how much more I got. Definitely great. The display's good. With the R model, it's the back is black and the numbers and stuff are white, which I definitely wanted. I don't know, the regular 1000 with the being reversed, I don't know, to me it doesn't look as good. But like it's got all the information you need on the gauge. Definitely first time being, as far as digital. But yeah, I kind of do like just a traditional tack, but it is nice, with the electronic. I definitely wouldn't give it up for sure if I had to, But yeah, like I say, she rides good, corners good, super light, good on gas depending on how hard you ride. I mean, I usually average over 40 miles a gallon. Even when with riding hard in betweens, I still average a good, decent, miles per gallon. It does good on that. She's a good bike, brothers. If you're in the market for one, definitely highly recommend it. Unless you just got a ton of coin to get something even better. If you got in excess of more, $5,000-$10,000 more, you could probably get something else that's better. But as far as being comfortable, I don't know if there's another bike that's as comfortable as this one. As far as super sports go, I've sat on quite a lot of different thousands. BMW, Aprilias, and stuff, and it just I don't think they're as comfortable as this one. Not saying that this isn't comfortable as the last gen I had, 750, but it's just about there because it's a little bit more aggressive. Of course, the handlebars a little further up, things like that. But you're still at least in the bike. But all right, brothers, I'm gonna tune it out here. Definitely appreciate everyone that's coming in and checking it out. Like I say, any questions, let me know. Holla at you, brothers. Later.